Hey besties, so what I'm working on today is a Barbie box video. I'm going to be doing this in Cricut Design Space. I am going to show two other videos after this on the same theme. So each week I'm going to be doing a different theme that will have several videos included in it. So this is going to be the first one. I'm going to go to my upload and add in my files. And I'm gonna use my slanted Barbie box. Now this could be customized in pretty much any theme you could think of. Later on with another theme, I'll create something else using this same template. A few things that I want to note about the template is, one, it doesn't matter what color the template is. When you upload it, you can cut on any cardstock you have. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't hinder you from doing anything. And it also, the color can be changed in pretty much any software you use, okay? So the first thing that I do, I ungroup this, okay? Now this gray piece, this will be what I use for my acetate, which is this piece going around the window. I'm going to hide it for right now. This piece is what would ultimately be the backing, essentially what would go here, basically what you would be able to see through the window. Now, I'm going to design that first because it's going to help me when I create the rest of the box to basically determine how much you're going to be able to see of that background through the window, okay? Now, it'll make sense once I get into the designing part. I am going to insert the rest of the clip art that I'm going to use, and then we'll get started. Another thing to note about this background is you don't have to put too much thought into it. I don't, unless the customer specifically asks me to, do something on it. I normally do somewhat of a plain black background because for the most part, once the person puts in their, candy and other treats, you're not really going to see too much of the background. So just keep that in mind when you're designing. Don't put too much thought into it unless these are going to be on display before any items go into them, okay? And I'm going to flatten that. I'm going to stick this behind and arrange it to the back. Okay. Here. Okay, and that's what I mean by designing the background first, because you'll see basically how much they'll be able to see looking into the box. So I might have to adjust that a little bit. I'm going to use my Barbie font, and I'm going to adjust it. Okay, and then I'm going to use my offset, and I normally start at 0.0, maybe like 9. I'll make it a little bigger. It's a little better, okay? I do like to keep my lines there as well, just so I could see exactly where I am, like if I'm in the middle. So I'll just select my offset and my name together, and I will place them adjust it, make it smaller if I need to at this point. Okay, and then I'm going to take my offset and my template and select them together. As you can see, nothing else there is selected, so I'm going to combine and unite. The reason why I'm using unite is because it's not permanent, and if I needed to go back and make changes, I still could. Whereas weld is kind of like a final change, and you'd have to either upload a new template or hit your arrow back button to make any changes. So I'm going to go ahead and unite. Okay, and I'm going to unite this as well. Okay, so that basically takes care of that. Once you've united and it's basically grouped it together, you can say, like, you can push anything into that area. And let's say I still wanted to adjust my offset, I could still move it around with that offset. So that's the good part. Arrange to the front. I'm going to show you how you would change the color of the template here. You can either use any of these colors, or you can go and use the sliding bar and change it that way. Okay, I am going to use a custom color. This is the color of my cardstock, so this just gives you an idea of, you know, basically what the box would look like, but it doesn't affect anything. If I wanted to cut this in blue, I still could without changing anything. Okay, so I am going to go to my lines. I'm going to move that to the front. Okay, as you can see the lines here, I'm going to go to my operation and I'm going to go to score. Okay, so that basically adds my score lines in, and then I'm going to select just the score lines and the template together, and I'm going to attach that. Okay, I'm going to send that backward. Okay, and I'm also going to change this to white, and I am going to duplicate. Okay, so that's pretty much the only thing I'm going to do there. I'm going to arrange that to the back again, just so I can get an idea of how it's going to look, and then we'll go ahead and get it cut. So I'm just making sure that that is all attached. Okay, another thing that you want to do before you move on is you're going to make sure that this is under 11.5. And I'm going to change this little piece to pink. Okay, so I'm doing 2 copies, so I'll go ahead and continue. Just make sure that when you switch your materials to change. I'm cutting this on vinyl, so I'm gonna need to, you know, move my dial to vinyl, because I've done this so many times where I have ended up cutting on a cardstock setting or cutting my cardstock on a vinyl setting, and then I have to start all over. So just wasting materials. So just make sure you remember to change your dial for each material that you're going to use. Let's go ahead and print. I'm going to print this on regular cardstock. I don't really need to use my system dialog box here. I'll go ahead and just print. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble. I am using HTV Romp mats. They are amazing for the price. They're like $14 for 6 mats, and I use them so often. I probably order them weekly, so they save me a lot of money. I'm gonna use my glue gun on this part. I don't use glue on a whole lot on this box, but that's just a preference. I use mostly tape. Using the glue gun sometimes on paper can cause like a little bit of a ripple effect on it. So there's a lot of times when I just decide to go the easy route, if you want to consider that. Especially around this part, it's a little easier for me because I do so many of these boxes that, you know, if I messed up on one, I'd be so sad. So I use a lot of tape. Okay. So I'm just gonna seal that in. And then I just go around the edges and seal. If you look closely at the part that I have sealed, in comparison, you can get your tool through there, whereas over here, it's a bit more difficult. So I would suggest that if you use tape. This I do use glue gun on. This is what I use to apply my vinyl. It works really well for paper, so that's really the reason why I use it. So when I do mail these, I normally just add a strip of tape because this is some pretty strong tape. So that's why I use this one specifically. I also use this on like my chip bags and stuff like that when I mail them because this seals really good. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to just finish assembling this. We'll be good to go. So that is done. And then I'm gonna just fold that in. And then fold this in. Okay, so that is that. I am going to do the measurements for you guys. So this is about a little under 7 inches. And then that is about 2.75 inches. And that is about 1.25 inches. Okay, so that is completely assembled and everything. Okay, so all done. This is the finished product. This is just showing you, you know, basically once you put your favors in there, you're really not going to see the background. So I really wouldn't put too much thought into it unless your buyer specifically wants that, or if they're going to be, you know, shown like this, then, you know, that's a different story. But this has glasses, a lip balm, some nail polish, and a mini fruit by the foot. It can actually fit more. There's plenty of space for more candy and things like that. So it's just an idea. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. I thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.